All right, you guys, so in the last video that I shared, I was talking about the beginning process of writing your book. And I wanted to just kind of jump forward to the end. When you have your manuscript written, then what happens? So obviously there's marketing and there is publishing, and both are obviously important to be able to get your book into the world and into the hands and the hearts of the people that need it most, right? Yes. So I want to preface this, as I've said many times before, I am not a book publisher, I am not a book marketer, I am a book writing coach, ghostwriter, and an online course creator to teach the system, which I call the storyteller system, to get your book written in 90 days or less. So first thing I want to share, there are two books that you should be getting, or I would recommend that you get if you are looking to market your book and you want to understand the actual marketing of it. You may not be the one who's doing the marketing, which is cool. Like if that's not your thing, like don't do it. Hire somebody to do it. And I talk about that in my course, like what you should be hiring for based on your own skill set, your own like heartbeat, the things that you really want to do. But the first book is called Launch by Jeff Walker, and that really takes you through the launch of anything. It's not just books. Then there's another book by Joanna Penn called How to Market a Book. Pretty straightforward, right? Both are great resources as you're learning to market your book, especially if you're looking to do it on your own. Now, when it comes to book publishing, a lot of people debate whether or not they want to self-publish or pitch to a publisher. One thing I want to share about pitching to a publisher, I was published as a ghostwriter with Hay House in 2018 with one of my authors. And the process of going with a traditional publisher is so much different than I thought that it would be. And then the experience of so many people that have now gone through it, and they go, I did not expect that. So what I will say is that, number one, if you're writing in transformational nonfiction, which is my niche, and you're writing anything maybe like memoir or anything like that, a book publisher doesn't want to see your manuscript. So your proposal, which I write proposals for people to pitch to publishers, your proposal should include 1 to 2 chapters from your book, but it should be like the middle section of your book. You never want to pitch with like chapter 1. They want to see what's in the book. There's a lot of different factors that go into a book proposal, which I'm not going to go into right now, but that is something to consider. So if you're looking to pitch to a publisher, don't send them your manuscript. They're not going to read it. They don't have time for it, especially, like I said, if it's transformational nonfiction, narrative nonfiction, memoir, anything like that. If it's fiction or children's book, that's a different story. They are going to want your manuscript. So make sure that you are very clear on what you're actually pitching. Again, there's a ton more that goes into a book proposal. The last one I did, I think, was 42 pages. Like there's a lot that goes into it. So secondarily to that, when we talk about self-publishing, there are things that you want to look for when you're looking for a self-publishing house, and they've changed so much. The company that I absolutely love is called Authors Unite, and the founder of that company's name is Tyler, and him and I have created a friendship, a relationship here in this book space, and I have no problem promoting them, shouting them from the rooftops, because what they do is different than any other self-publishing house that I've ever spoken to, and their communication, in my experience, has been incredibly on point. It's quick, it's effective, it's efficient, they get things done, and for somebody like me who is type A and likes to know, like, okay, let's go. That works for me. Communication is huge. So if you're looking to go the self-publishing route, I would definitely suggest looking them up. If you send me a message, I can send you a direct link and exactly where you need to go to be able to set up a meeting with them to kind of discuss your options. There's no obligation to buy, obviously, right? But at least you can have the conversation and say, what does this actually look like? And if I chose to go that route, what would the investment be? Because it's not free, right? We all know that, like, business isn't free. The second thing to consider too is that most publishing houses, traditional publishing, yes, they will say, we are going to help you market your book. That is true in the sense that they will market to their audience, but they don't market outside of their audience. Their marketing efforts, in my experience again, are minimal in comparison to what it really looks like to effectively market a book and get it out there. Now, what I mean by that is that your book is your baby. So if you want it out there, it's your job to do the work to get it out into the world, right? So relying on anybody else to take that on and do it all on their own without you involved is kind of a silly thing to do in the first place. So with Self-publishing, most self-publishing houses, you are 100% responsible for your own marketing, period, end of story. With this company that I have partnered with because I adore them and what they do and what they stand for, they actually are the only self-publishing house that I know of that legitimately is also a marketing house. So they have these two sectors that they have put together specifically for books, and it's freaking brilliant. So there's that. As far as being able to figure out your own marketing, if you've never done the marketing for a book before, totally okay. I would not suggest trying to do it on your own though, because there is so much that goes into it. Now, another thing that I've mentioned multiple times, so I'm just going to say real quick here, is that if you're writing a book to make money, that is not a good enough reason to write a book. Not because you shouldn't get paid for your work, because yes, you should. But in my experience and that of many people that I've had the joy of speaking to, working with, etc., books aren't what makes money. It's what comes after the book that makes money. It's the opportunities and possibilities that come from saying you are now an author, okay? So let's just get that out there right now. Now, if you have any other questions in regards to what happens after you have your manuscript and you're ready to market and publish, please let me know. I'm happy to connect you to the resources that I have. And if I can answer any questions, I will. But again, that is not my sweet spot. My sweet spot is the writing and creation of the actual work. And I'm happy to support you in that as well. Have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Mwah.